I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's a winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. Something has got to change. For this Carolina Panthers team to do better in the future, something has to change, and usually for a big change to happen, it has to come from the top down. Now, I'll start with the very, very top. Obviously, David Tepper is not going to change. First off, the dude just bought the team. Secondly, he's got nothing to do with the issues we've seen from the Panthers historically. We can even go back further than just the last couple years. Yes, 2015 was a big year. It was a great year. But besides that, what really can we say about this Panthers team over the past, let's say, 8-9 years? Other than that 1 year, has this team been all that great? It was an outlier. Let's speak on it. It was an outlier. Okay, so it's nothing to do with David Tepper at the very top. Marty Hurney, the GM, I like Marty. There's been people talking about maybe wanting to fire Marty, but I have no idea why they'd even think that. Okay, let's go back 2 years ago in free agency and in the draft. This dude, Marty, looked good. In the offseason, he looked really good. In the draft, his early picks were pretty good. Even in the later rounds, when it's a crapshoot and it's really you're betting with house money, you're playing with house money, Marty's been doing pretty good in the draft for the last couple years. I like that. He had the guts to go out and get Eric Reed in week 3 of last year. That was a really good pickup as well. I think he did really good in this year's draft. I think given what we were looking at, the team having, he did really good in the offseason during free agency, even up until training camp. I don't see a problem with him, or if there's a problem with him, I don't see him being anywhere near one of the bigger problems. I want to focus in on Coach Ron Rivera, head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Now, look, has Ron Rivera been a bad coach? Let's be honest. He's not been all that bad. As a coach, he's 76-61-1. That's a 5.54 record. That's above 500. That's above even. So he's above average. And honestly, I think the average NFL coach is probably under 500. It's hard to win in the NFL. 55% win. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Now, there were some really good years there. There's a 12-4 year, 2013. Obviously, the 15-1 year, 11-5 a couple years ago in 2017. Those are really good. But for the most part, we've been around just about the middle, 7-9, 7-9, 6-10, around there. That cannot cut it. That really can't cut it. I mean, really, if we have a winning season, we're well above 8-8. But if we're losing, we're just around that precipice. But that's not the biggest thing for me. The biggest thing for me about Coach Rivera isn't any of that kind of stuff, isn't the general record. My biggest problem with Coach is that this team has lost way too many games where the final score was 1 possession. You have to win those games. You have to win those games late. And we can talk about how Cam's been injured. We haven't had a really good O-line. The receiving core wasn't all that great. And it wasn't like the team wasn't trying. I mean, the team they have been going hard early in drafts, trying to find receivers. We understand how that works in the NFL or in sports in general. There are good prospects that don't do good. There are bad prospects who shine, and no one really expects that. But we lose way too many games by less than 7 points. 7 points or less, those are games you have to win. Those are the important ones. Blowouts are one thing. Blowouts, you never had a chance in those, most likely. It is what it is. You're probably going to be over before the fourth quarter. But if you find yourself in a tight game late, and you're either on offense or defense, it doesn't matter. If the defense can't get a stop for a defensive-minded head coach, or if your offense doesn't have enough heart to win a game for you late, there is a problem. Whether it's motivation, whether it's strategy, whether it's whatever it has to be, it all comes down to the head coach. If you're the head coach, just like the quarterback, you get the credit when you win, and you get the blame when you lose. And if you lose these tight games, you have to look at the head coach. And Coach Ron Rivera has not done that job. And one of the other big things for me about Coach is that I always get the feeling, watching these post-game pressers, watching this man address the media, watching this man, how he acts, the way he sounds, the way he looks when he's up there, I don't like anything about what he says and how he says it. The biggest issue for me is that Coach Ron Rivera will straight up lie. And if it was only in the offseason where you want your coach to lie, where you want your GM to lie, so other teams can't get a feel for what you're going to be picking, if they have the same needs, they might jump ahead of you with trades, or they might do other things. You want your head coach and your GM to have some subterfuge. You want to do that kind of stuff. But in the regular season, in training camp, when you're saying things, specific things that are definitely provable with time, and you completely move away from those kind of things, you start to question, why did this guy say that? And what's going on? What's this product I'm seeing on my TV right now? So the Panthers have a coach who's been in there for 8 years, going on 9 years right now. It's right here in the 9th year, who only has really had one good season where you made a deep playoff run. 12-4 season was all right. Actually, that wasn't bad at all, honestly. That was a good year. But one very impressive season where you make a deep playoff run, got to the Super Bowl, but then you start losing a lot of close games. You're also lying to the media, lying to the fans, and you're going on your 9th year, and we really don't have all that much to show for it. That is a problem. And it's about time to have a new voice in there. When you're getting on 9 years and you're only 55% win percent, it's time to have a new voice. And look, this is not me saying he's a bad coach, because I'll tell you right now, Coach Rivera, if he were to get fired this very second, he would have a phone call in 30 minutes. There are teams in the league who would be dying to have Coach Ron Rivera. I think Coach Rivera could be good for a different team. And I think this Panthers team could benefit from having a new coach. Now, when I first mentioned this topic, I think it was months and months ago, probably during the offseason, I asked a question. I said, look, if you're going to say fire Coach Rivera, then you have to have a solution or a suggestion for who would come in and replace him. Because you can't just say fire a guy and say, okay, then now what? And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know who I want. My first thought was Lincoln Riley, but Lincoln Riley is an offensive-minded coach, so what would he do about Norv Turner? Would Lincoln Riley bring in his system? Would he want to call offensive plays? And honestly, I don't have a problem with Norv. I think Norv Turner's offense worked great last year. I mean, there's not a single Panthers fan who can say that Norv Turner's offense did not look very, very impressive last year. And if you have a problem with this offense this year, keep in mind what our offensive line is. Keep in mind what our quarterback is. And look, Kyle Allen, he's a pretty decent backup. So far, he is 5-3 in 8 games. That's about what you want out of your backup quarterback. Now, obviously, we know that he's not the reason we're winning games. It's because of the running back and the defense. But that's also what you want out of your backup quarterback. He didn't come in and try to do way too much to prove himself. He stuck to the script and game managed his way to a 5-3 record so far, over 8 games. I'm not going to sit here and call him garbage over that. I'm not going to sit here and call Norv Turner garbage because of that. We have not run what Norv Turner's offense was last year. I think Cam fits into that a lot better with the read option and then the pre-snap motion. You never know if he's going to hand it off to the running back, to the slot receiver and motion. You don't know if he's going to keep it. There's so many things that Norv Turner's offense we saw last year will work way, way, way better if Cam was out there healthy running that offense. I'm not ready to say it's Norv Turner's fault. So Lincoln Riley would be maybe an option. I think he might be looking at maybe coming through. You never know. I've heard Jim Harbaugh. That dude is garbage. Let's be honest. He ain't been doing that good in college. He was good and look, when he was with the Niners, Harbaugh was great. Okay? Harbaugh was great, but there's also been reports and stories about how he's kind of hard to deal with, kind of insufferable, has a big personality that grinds on you. I don't know how well that's going to work for grown NFL players. Probably don't like that. There's been talk about maybe Mike Tomlin being made to move on from the Steelers. First off, I don't see that. That won't happen. And I think if Mike Tomlin does move, he'll probably want to have GM duties as well. He'll want more responsibilities. He'll want more of his handprint on the franchise. I don't see him moving, and I don't think we make that move to go for Mike Tomlin, even though I don't have a rock solid, honest opinion or honest suggestion without question of a guy I want to come in and replace Ron Rivera. I think right now I and maybe even a majority of the Panthers fans everywhere are at the point where we're saying to ourselves, look, I think it's time for a new voice. time for a different voice. It's time for someone else to come in here and lead the Panthers. But I want to say this one thing. It might not be the first guy we get after Coach Ron Rivera that leads this team to becoming a Super Bowl contender. The next guy we get might not be the best one. But if that's the case and the first guy isn't good, that does not mean that it was automatically the wrong decision to move away from Coach Ron Rivera. Two things can be true. It can be that the team needs to move on, and it could mean the next guy we pick up isn't the guy. But you can't be so scared of failure that you stick yourself in mediocrity for an extended period of time. And that is exactly what this Carolina Panthers team has done for almost a decade now. We've wasted the prime of a few Hall of Fame players. Several Hall of Fame players, at least 4 off the top of your head right now. Think about it right now. Think about the players whose primes we've borderline wasted and are in the process of continuing to waste. For a couple guys, it's just time for someone else. And even if the next guy isn't the guy, it still is time to just move forward without Coach Ron Rivera. Don't know who it's going to be, but if y'all have suggestions, y'all know other guys, other names out there who might be out there, who might be available this year or coming up, let me know. This is more a video of me trying to find out from y'all, or trying to, brainstorm who is available, who could the Panthers bring in, and who would be a good culture fit, a good scheme fit, and who would just make this team go to that next level. Personality matters, scheme matters, what they can bring to the team definitely matters. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.